All right, so we have a few things to actually follow up in regards to Bitcoin as the weekly closure is coming in about roughly, I would say, in the next couple of hours or so. We're going to be talking about in this particular week what's going to be happening as we are getting the CPI data on December the 12th, and we are getting the FOMC meeting the day after that. So it is a big week overall to watch for traditional markets and crypto as well too. We're going to be talking about Zen. We're going to be talking about Titan X. So stick around till the end of the video. You don't want to miss this information. So let's go ahead and actually get started into the video, guys. So we're looking at Bitcoin weekly closure coming in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. And we are seeing this green engulfing candle to the upside, which again is bringing us record closures overall for the past 8 weeks, guys. So it seems like this candle closure is going to close to the upside and it's going to be green. We can see we've had 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 candle weekly closures to, is that 3 4 5 6 7, yeah, so 8 candle closures to the upside. The last time this actually particularly happened, guys, was coming in back in 2017 of April. Now, also, I do want to note this particular run does seem a little bit eerie. History doesn't, repeat itself, but it definitely certainly rhymes. However, what we are seeing so far is the amount of gains that are basically cascading over to Ethereum and also a selective altcoins that are basically doing pretty well so far. So this kind of reminds me of the 2017 run. Big cap coins move first, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then some of that basically starts to trickle down to the smaller market cap coins. And that's why I think, again, there is a lot of opportunity that is being presented overall in the crypto space. And whether or not you should actually be taking profits here, well, you're going to have to apply risk management and understand, your position in terms of risk to reward. Now, I've been, saying for quite some time, coming in, guys, back from, believe it or not, from 2022 of July, saying, look, we could be expecting, or the bottom could be in for Bitcoin roughly around December to January of 2022. And, since then we've gone up roughly about 185%. Okay, so that's not actually too bad overall. In terms of, if you bought at these levels of $15,000-$16,000 to be taking some profits and essentially letting the rest ride out. I particularly myself have closed some of the long-term position trades that I've actually taken, and I do have one or two essentially left that I'm continuing to basically monitor and take profits off of that. With that being said, where are we in terms of the Fibonacci retracement tool? Well, I'm just going to draw it for you guys so you can actually see. So we're taking it from the bull market highs to the bear market lows. And that basically would allow you to extrapolate it. And we can see that, we're coming in at the 706 level. Again, now my thesis, again, I don't trade based off of emotion. We trade off basis of statistics and probabilities. However, everything in regards to our trading strategies have been basically indicating that we're nearly close to the last leg for Bitcoin overall. Now, again, we've been kind of discussing for the past weeks in regards to where Bitcoin could possibly, put in at the top and then have a major retracement or pullback on the macro level. Well, I'm looking at more likely at the 786 level, which is just roughly around the $50,000 on the weekly time frame. Now, I don't really want to kind of repeat myself here because, my subscribers continues to essentially watch here. And if you haven't watched the previous video, definitely go ahead and do that there. So yeah, with that being said, again, in this upcoming week, we do have the CPI data essentially coming out, which will be very important overall to kind of digest for the overall markets for traditional and crypto. Again, if the CPI data come in higher than expectation, then look for the Fed and Jerome Powell to come out with more of a hawkish tone. I don't think that there will be another rate hike for this particular year, which again, the FOMC meeting is going to be happening on the 13th. So again, with that being said, guys, the actual probabilities haven't really changed if we quickly take a look at the If we take a look at the probabilities here, it's showing again that there's going to be a 97% chance there's no change, right? So we're going to stay stagnant for the end of the year, ending off the 2023 as that, and more likely heading into next year, they might be, pivoting from there. Again, the expectation is that they were looking for pivots, and if if they start to pivot in terms of the rates, this is going to spell overall great for Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, I did make a video stating every time the Fed has actually pivoted short term, the markets don't do so well. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and take a look at the back testing data that we presented to show that when the pivot does happen, eventually Bitcoin, traditional market essentially does take a pullback before continuing on to new highs. So there is a probability that's when maybe that greater pullback is going to be expected, but that's what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and take a look at the shorter time frames for Bitcoin. Again, we've been basically ping-ponging in this area, ranging for quite some time, since December of 5th, just coming in 5 days into from that breakout flag pattern pull that you were basically kind of building in this area, putting in again that flag formation. Now, with that being said, the breakout region for further continuation for this particular pull, what you're actually looking at right from that breakout region, if we're to actually measure this out properly here. So let me just re-grab the flag pattern here and remeasure this out. So the area of confluence is around 46,000. So again, more likely breaking away from this particular region, getting to that $46,000 area, guys, is definitely key for Bitcoin overall. With that being said, what I'm looking for in particular on the hourly is I'm looking for, again, formation to be building a higher low structure, right? Looking at this, so I'm just going to remove some of this drawing, guys. And what we're looking for particularly is, again, these higher low and higher highs on the lower time frames. That will basically confirm a breakout region for Bitcoin, getting us roughly around the 46,340. So again, I'm expecting still this particular move to continue on and upwards in the next upcoming weeks. If the if the data is positive in terms of the CPI and the FOMC meeting stays stagnant, again, expectation is that we're going to continue on and upwards from here. Just looking at traditional markets, kind of playing out to our expectation of what we're looking for. Again, breaking out of this region, coming back, more likely filling this particular gap right here. So far, we filled a bit of that particular gap. Again, there are still more likely some orders that will need to be filled for further continuation. But again, we did see a bounce off of that region. You're putting in that cross candle right here, confirming, again, further upside movement where the bulls did come into, again, traditional markets pulling prices a lot further. Again, breaking away from really 16,118. I still do see that further continuation for the NASDAQ overall, and looking at the highs coming in back from December of 2021, guys. So that's pretty crazy to be talking about that, for NASDAQ overall. So again, that's what we're particularly seeing in terms of, again, with Bitcoin and traditional markets and what to expect. Let's just go ahead and jump on real quick to Zen. Again, really not much happening in terms of Zen, continuing to range in this particular area. This is actually, good to see overall for Zen, because, you're moving away from that downtrending move that you basically started from April 2023 all the way to October of 2023, guys. Okay, so that's a long time in the making. Finally, some ranging action. This is what we want to see overall. Some of the mints are becoming too expensive, essentially, to actually withdraw overall and end. So that possibly could be the reason why, this downtrend has not continued, because again, the selling has completely overall stopped, and we do have Zenify as well too. We do have some projects that are kind of helping, the whole ethos of the Zen ecosystem. But what we're looking for, as long as we continue to, stay really on the 4 hourly above the 5422, I think we should be okay to kind of retest the previous all-time lows for Zen around the 7877 area. With that being said, if we look at the longer term time frames, so far you're pretty good. Again, as long as you stay above 4852, you know, you're putting in the higher low structure, so it still looks good. 3-day, same thing. 5-day, again, looking to kind of complete that higher low structure. So you're still looking pretty good overall. On the weekly time frame, yeah, so the higher time frames, you're basically setting in the higher low, hopefully for further continuation to the upside, putting in more likely a higher high on the weekly time frame, guys. If we are able to get above 8235, you are starting to change the trend on the macro levels, guys. And I expect, again, Zen to do phenomenally well if we actually, you know, break above for 8235. Now, I do like to apply some strategies to get a better probabilistic case of what could be happening, you know, more likely from this. But you know, if you anything above 8054, you're putting in again a higher high and a higher low. You know, you're starting an uptrend from there. Going back into just quickly looking at the overall markets. So some of the crypto assets have been doing phenomenally well, guys, and you will more likely looking to follow their narrative, right? Whether or not it's going to be AI that's going to be doing good, ordinal space, again, we talked about Bitcoin and ordinals doing phenomenally well overall. And what is the other narrative? The gaming narrative. I'm not too huge in terms of gaming, but again, you have three narratives: the ordinals, the gaming, and the AI, guys, that you can actually get into. Which one will, I think, outperform the other? I think meme coins and Bitcoin is going to outperform a lot of the crypto space, guys. But with that being said, those are just my thoughts, my narrative coming back, you know, from this market from 7 to 8 years. You know, being in here, I know that people and investors and traders always go to meme coins, and the maximum gains are to be made there. But again, take some of those profits, put in the long-term portfolio, and let the rest basically ride out. Just quickly looking at Titan X, we're looking for that greater pullback coming in this particular zone. So this should not have been a surprise overall if you did get into this. Again, so this is the region we're looking for particularly to hold midterm. If we actually go to the Titan X website here, just to get a better understanding of the the data in terms of the buy and burn where we are. Yeah, we can see the V2 again. Pool continues to essentially rise. We're at roughly around 12 million in ETH. The V1 is still stagnating around the 10 million. But if we actually go to some of the let's look at some of the stats here. We can see again the liquid supply is about 1 million, and the staked is about 8 million. So give or take here, if that were to come to fruition, if those staked amounts were to come, you're still looking pretty good overall. But again, there is data to suggest that this pullback was due to the fact some of the stakes were essentially ending the shorter term time frames. A lot of people have been profit on the shorter term time frame, so they basically been selling some of those again. So what we were expecting in terms of, again, Titan X did actually come to play, guys. So I'll leave you off with this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, bros, as always, stay profitable.